I was sitting on my porch the other day, watching the birds flit around the garden, when my neighbor, a spry 80-year-old, walked by and said, "Maggie, how on earth do you still have so much energy? You're out here every morning, tending to your flowers, running errands, and even driving yourself to book club." I just smiled and said, "Well, George, it's not magic. It's a few simple habits I've stuck with for years." And that got me thinking, maybe it's time to share what's kept me feeling strong, sharp, and healthy all these years. After all, age is just a number, but how you feel, that's what really matters. So today, I want to talk about the 5 habits that have helped me stay vibrant, avoid sickness, and yes, still drive at 92. Now, I know what you might be thinking, "Maggie, I'm not 92 yet, but some days, I feel like my energy's running on empty." Or maybe you've noticed little aches and pains creeping in, or you just don't bounce back like you used to. Well, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't have to be that way. Small, consistent choices can make all the difference. And the best part? These habits aren't complicated. They're simple, practical, and things you can start today. So, let's begin with the first habit, moving your body every single day. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights, goodness, no. It's about gentle, consistent movement. For me, that's a 20-minute walk in the morning, rain or shine. I call it my sunshine stroll because it clears my mind, gets my blood flowing, and sets a positive tone for the day. You might prefer swimming, gardening, or even dancing around the kitchen to your favorite old tunes. The key is to find something you enjoy, so it doesn't feel like a chore. My friend Edna swears by her daily chair yoga, and at 87, she's more flexible than most folks half her age. Movement keeps your joints limber, your heart strong, and your mood lifted. And trust me, your body will thank you for it. Now, the second habit is just as important, eating foods that love you back. I've never been one for fad diets or counting calories. Instead, I focus on real, wholesome foods, the kind my mother used to cook. Plenty of vegetables, a bit of lean protein, and good fats like olive oil or avocado. One of my secrets? A hearty bowl of vegetable soup every day. It's easy to digest, packed with nutrients, and keeps me feeling full without weighing me down. And here's something I learned from my doctor years ago: as we age, our bodies need more protein to maintain muscle. So I make sure to include eggs, beans, or a little fish in my meals. But I also believe in balance. Life's too short to skip dessert entirely. A small square of dark chocolate or a homemade oatmeal cookie now and then is good for the soul. The third habit? Keeping your mind as active as your body. Just like muscles, your brain needs exercise to stay sharp. I've always loved reading mystery novels, biographies, even the occasional crossword puzzle. But it's not just about puzzles, it's about staying curious. I asked questions, listened to podcasts, and even took up painting a few years ago. You're never too old to learn something new. In fact, studies show that challenging your brain with new skills can help keep memory loss at bay. My grandson taught me how to video call last year, and now I visit with my great-grandkids every week. At first, it felt intimidating, but now, it's one of my greatest joys. So there you have it, the first 3 habits that have kept me going strong: moving daily, eating nourishing foods, and keeping my mind engaged. But we're just getting started. Next, we'll talk about 2 more habits that have been game changers for my health and happiness. One of them might surprise you. It's all about connection, and not in the way you'd expect. So stay with me, because these next tips are just as important as the ones we've covered today. You know, one of the things I've learned over the years is that health isn't just about what you do for your body, it's also about what you do for your spirit. And that brings me to the 4th habit that's kept me feeling so good all these years: making time for quiet and gratitude. Now, I know that might sound a little abstract, but stick with me. Every morning, before I even step outside for my walk, I sit by the window with a cup of tea, just me, the sunrise, and a few deep breaths. No rushing, no to-do lists yet. Just a moment to be still. Some folks call it meditation, but I like to think of it as giving my soul a chance to catch up with the day. And here's the thing, I don't just sit there thinking about nothing. I focus on gratitude. Maybe it's the robins singing outside, or the fact that my knees don't ache today, or even the simple pleasure of a warm cup in my hands. Taking just 5 minutes to appreciate the good stuff sets the tone for the whole day. Scientists say gratitude can lower stress, improve sleep, even boost your immune system. All I know is, it makes life sweeter. My neighbor Frank used to grumble about everything, the weather, his creaky joints, the grandkids being too busy to visit. Then one day, I challenged him to name one thing he was grateful for every morning. At first, he rolled his eyes, but now, he texts me his gratitude of the day. And you know what? He's smiling more, complaining less, and even joined a bowling league. It's amazing what a shift in perspective can do. Now, the fifth habit is one that surprised even me when I realized how much it mattered, staying connected, but on your own terms. Here's what I mean. We've all heard that socializing is important as we age, and it's true, loneliness can be just as harmful as smoking. But here's the catch, not all connections are created equal. For years, I forced myself to go to every senior center event, every family gathering, even when I was exhausted or just plain didn't feel like it. Then one day, my daughter said, "Mom, you don't have to say yes to everything. What actually fills your cup?" That's when it clicked. I started being choosier. Instead of big noisy gatherings, I invited 1 or 2 close friends over for tea and real conversation. I joined a small book club where we actually read the books, no offense to those wine and chat groups. And when my great-grandchildren visit, I plan short, meaningful activities, baking cookies together or looking at old photo albums, instead of trying to keep up with their energy all day. The key is quality over quantity. A 5-minute phone call with my sister where we really listen to each other means more than 3 hours in a room full of chatter. And if I need a quiet day to recharge, I take it, guilt-free. Your social battery changes as you age, and that's okay. What matters is nurturing the connections that truly nourish you. Now, you might be wondering how all these habits fit together. Here's the beautiful part, they're like threads in a tapestry. Moving my body keeps me strong enough to visit friends. Eating well gives me the energy to enjoy those visits. Quiet moments of gratitude help me appreciate the people in my life. And choosing meaningful connections? That keeps my spirit light, which makes everything else easier. But before we wrap up, there's one more piece to this puzzle, something so simple, yet so powerful, that it ties all these habits together. It's about listening, not to me, not to doctors, but to your own body. Because no one knows you better than you. You know, when I was raising my children back in the 1950s, doctors used to say, ignore the pain and push through. Can you imagine? These days, I think the most important health habit of all is learning to listen to your body like it's your oldest, dearest friend. Just last week, I woke up feeling unusually tired. Now, the old Maggie might have pushed herself to keep up with routine laundry day waits for no one. But these days, I've learned that when my body whispers, I don't wait for it to scream. I canceled my plans, made a pot of soup, and spent the afternoon reading in my favorite chair. By evening, I felt refreshed instead of run down. This kind of self-awareness didn't come naturally to me. It took practice, like learning to distinguish between I don't want to tired and genuine I need rest tired. My trick? I ask myself 2 questions. First, does this feel like resistance or true exhaustion? Second, will I feel better or worse after I do this? 90% of the time, my gut knows the answer immediately. Now, I'm not suggesting we become slaves to every little ache goodness knows at 92, there's always something that twinges. But there's wisdom in learning your body's language. That slight headache might mean you need water, not pills. That afternoon slump could signal it's time for a protein snack, not more coffee. And when something feels truly off, that's when you pick up the phone to your doctor without delay. This brings me to what might be the most surprising secret of all, the power of saying no. After 9 decades, I've learned that every yes is a no to something else. Yes to another committee meeting means no to my afternoon walk. Yes to that heavy meal means no to feeling light and energetic. Yes to toxic people means no to my peace of mind. I'll never forget when my granddaughter asked, "Nana, how do you decide what to say yes to?" I told her my simple rule: if it's not a heck yes, it's probably a no. Whether it's social invitations, volunteer commitments, or even well-meaning advice, if it doesn't light you up or truly serve you, you have permission to pass. Your time and energy are precious currencies. Spend them wisely. Now, let's tie this all together. These 5 habits: moving daily, eating nourishing foods, keeping the mind active, practicing gratitude, and choosing meaningful connections, they're not about adding more to your plate. They're about creating a life where health and happiness flow naturally. When you move your body, you want to feed it well. When you feed it well, you have energy for what matters. When you focus on what matters, gratitude comes easily. And when you're grateful, well, that's when the real magic happens. I won't tell you that I've never had a sick day in 30 years, that wouldn't be honest. But I will say this: by sticking with these simple habits, I've had far more good days than bad. I still drive myself to the library every Tuesday. I still beat my great-grandkids at checkers, though they claim I cheat. And most mornings, I wake up excited for whatever the day brings. So here's my challenge to you: don't try to change everything at once. Pick one habit that speaks to you and start there. Maybe it's adding 10 minutes of walking to your day, or swapping one processed snack for something fresh. Perhaps it's keeping a gratitude journal by your bed. Small steps lead to big changes. I'd love to hear what resonates with you in the comments below. What's one small change you'll make this week? Your wisdom might inspire someone else. We're all in this together, after all. If you found this helpful, do give the video a thumbs up. It helps others find it too. And if you're not already part of our little community here, hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more conversations like this to share. Remember, my dear friends, aging isn't about slowing down, it's about knowing what speeds to shift into. Here's to your health, your happiness, and to living every one of your years with joy and purpose. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a date with my walking shoes in the sunshine. See you out there.